Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video talking about, will Beth survive and make it through The Walking Dead Season 4 finale? Alright, so this is one I have done videos on in the past. Previously I did a video predicting that Beth would die in Season 4, Episode 13 alone. So luckily was wrong about that one so far, but she's definitely not, the character that's in the least amount of danger in the series right now. So I thought it'd be applicable to give my thoughts on it again and what I think is going to happen, sort of do some predictions going forward for the finale, because we only have 3 episodes left. So I'm assuming whatever happens with her is going to be resolved by the end of this this finale. Now they could go a few different ways with this one, and I'll say spoiler warning for those who intend to read the comic books but haven't, and also maturity warning for this one. If you're under the age of about 16, this topic is pretty dark, so you may or may not want to watch this if you're younger than that, and viewer discretion advised, that type of thing. That said, they could go a few different ways with this. So obviously, Beth, also spoilers for anyone who's not caught up on The Walking Dead, of course, was captured last week when her and Daryl were staying at that house, the funeral home, so to speak, which was a little bit too conveniently set up, and the dogs, so to speak, scouted them out, and it looks like Gabriel, or the television series version of Gabriel, possibly that was his house, and he captured her, it seems, and took off with her. So what's going to happen with her? Is she going to make it? Is she not? What direction are they going with this? This finale, man, looks like it's going to be really, really exciting, and she'll probably be, the main focal point for it with regards to, what drives the story. Now, in the finale, it does say Rick and his group face sheer brutality. So, to me, it almost sounds like out of the comic book series, where you have the part when the hunters return Dale to the group. Okay, so after they've already found out that he was bitten, which Beth, as far as we know, wasn't. But in the comic book series, Dale was bitten and he goes off in the forest to die, and that's when the hunters capture him. So he was bitten, they find out he's bitten, and after spitting out his leg, which they were eating, dark, they return him to his group to freak him out, and also to kind of, just put that scare into him, so they go into a panic because they know where Rick's group is at that current time. So if they go somewhere along the lines of that in the TV series version, I think we may expect that Beth be returned to the group, maybe in 3/4 pieces, or most of her would be returned to the group, and that might be what the description is referring to. Andrew Lincoln has in interviews talked about how they're kind of jumping off a cliff, so to speak, in this back 8 episodes. I haven't really seen that so far. I haven't really seen anything so far that made me think like, wow, they're just going nuts with it, or the horrors really. That would make sense if they did something like that. Like, let's say she was missing a leg or something. I don't know. Something of the sort, and the hunters were to give her back to Rick's group afterwards, after that was the case. Wow. At the sanctuary or something of the sort. That would be really dark if they went that direction. So that's one direction. In that direction, she actually could survive. So that's one possibility. So they could go about 3 different ways with this. The first is she could survive, and that would be one of the ways they would do it, but she may be missing a leg or arm or something, right? So that's the first. And that would be really dark and scary to see if they were to go that route. Based on Andrew Lincoln's description, that might be what they're doing with it, where they're going to go. So that's the first possibility. She'd survive, but yet she'd be in bad shape. The other possibilities are, well, she could survive, and maybe Daryl could rescue her before they chow down or something of the sort. So that would be another possibility, I guess you could say, or someone else could rescue her too. For some reason, I want to say Daryl, because it would just make sense for the way the story's been going. So that's a possibility. If, let's say, Gabriel, or Gareth, the television series version of Gabriel, is a part of Joe's group, which is the Hunters, and he was, like, they separated, like he was on a run to do that while Joe's group went off in another direction. Right? If they met back up at this sanctuary, so to speak, maybe if Joe's in charge, possibly if Daryl joins, maybe he could somehow get her out, rescue her, and they could get out, or as soon as Rick arrives or something, have the numbers to fight him off and rescue her. So that's a possibility that she could survive without, any major wounds or damage or anything of the sort. And that probably would be the cleanest, safest way to go with the story. It doesn't sound like they're going that route based on, and this is The Walking Dead, for it just to have a happy ending like that at the end of the season, it'd be a weird change, it'd be unexpected, but I mean, I don't know if people would like it that much based on what they've come to expect from the comic book series and from the television series. You'd think this is going to be pretty dark, so that's a possibility. In addition to that, of course, a very real possibility is they could just kill her off, right? She could be in there, and then she could die, and then afterwards, they could, throw her body back to Rick's group, because they seem to be leaving the bodies, right? If you notice with the hunters and how they've been foreshadowed this season, season 4, they don't keep the bodies in one location. They leave them in weird places, like the rich bitch one at the golf course. They take her eyes are missing, and they leave her there without the lower half of her body. And there's others too. All throughout the season we see different, things like that. The tree walker, where its lower body's cut off. All the others were different things like that are set up. It's dark, but that could be a possibility that they could use that to kind of scare the people and terrify them, get them to run off while they capture more, this type of thing. So that's definitely something, is they could just kill her, have her be dismembered or something, and the sheer brutality thing could be them dropping her off or something, giving her back to Rick while they all just kind of go nuts because they can't believe what they're seeing. That type of thing would make sense with the description, and either that, or I want to say either that or her surviving but being dismembered is probably, those two I think are the most likely possibilities. Her making it through the season, surviving, and keeping all of her body parts this is so dark to talk about, is probably the least likely. I want to say I think so. So which direction would I want it to go? Well, I mean, I'd like to see her just, I guess, I don't know. That's a tough question. You guys know how I feel about Beth. Maybe to see what happens between her and Daryl. I'd kind of like to see maybe her survive on through the series, to see what direction they go with them two. But based on how they've gone with Daryl's story so far, with Merle and everything, and the type of character he is, and based on the episode still, I think they're probably going to go the other direction. I think it's more likely that she's going to be dead, or she's going to be dismembered and survive. But then again, if they do that, they have to worry about kind of, including some kind of CG or doing something. See, it's not the same as a comic book series. Comic book series, you can take off someone's leg, but in the TV series, you have to use CG for like a peg or something like they did with Herschel, or crutches or something, something of the sort they'd have to do, like the Merle thing with the arm. Something like that, which sometimes with the TV series, with a character that's in every sequence, could be difficult, right? It could be difficult if they try to do that with her. So I guess we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see how it all turns out. But it is a season finale, so you're expecting to get at least one big character death for the season finale, like Andrea's last year. There was a lot more than that, but Andrea's and everything else, Milton, everything else that happened. So you'd think to be getting something like that. There was Herschel at the Too Far Gone season, mid-season finale. So I would expect to see at least one big character death, either Maggie, Beth, or somebody of the sort in there. I would think probably will be killed off before the end of the season. Beth may be the most likely based on her situation, but based on that, you almost think maybe they'll throw in some kind of curve or something so that it'll go some other direction. So we'll see what will happen. Please let me know what you guys think about this one. What direction would you like to see them go with this? And do you think she's going to make it, or do you think she's going to be killed off before the end of season 4? I am expecting her to be killed off, I think, or survive but be disfigured or something. Something really dark and brutal. Yeah. Like her, she would be like a television series version of Dale from the comics, basically. We all know how that turned out if you read the comics. So let me know what you guys think. I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev saying peace.